This dot is a trapped particle. So it's being held by an invisible laser beam, illuminated by a visible laser beam to form the outline of an explosion. Here we see the particle moving back and forth rapidly as it's illuminated to give the effect of a phaser blast or a disruptor charge moving back and forth between the ships. What you're seeing in this scene is real. There is nothing computer generated about it. These are real lasers moving around in space between these two ships. So unlike the movies, where the lightsabers never really existed in physical space, these are actual luminous beams rising from these lightsabers.
Welcome all American Cartel members, Anons, Facebook friends, Instagram followers, random YouTube viewer, and Twitter followers, and anybody else I may have forgotten. Thanks for joining me. My name is Julio Hawkes, and I am the Theorizing Theorist. And today we're going to be talking about Project Bluebeam and where it is at as far as in progress. It's very imminent. Let's just say, so it seems, this alien invasion, and is this them kind of hinting at least to the fellow deep state members, or who knows? Maybe this is them just doing it in front of our faces and showing us what they can do, because obviously they have technology far more advanced than what they're going to show us. So you can only imagine what they're able to do. Now, I saw this article in one of these science, website thingies. I'm going to read the article to you here in a minute, and then I'm going to show you the entire video. But before I do that, I wanted to address, I guess, all the issues I've been having uploading and making these videos, all for naught sometimes, and it's really frustrating sometimes to me. So please be sure to watch these videos as soon as possible before they get deleted or taken down or privatized or whatever. And please consider donating to my channel, even $1, anything to help validate what I do. My wife sees me sitting here doing nothing and earning nothing, and she gives me hell, let me tell you. But if I can tell her, hey, I got people, they love my channel and they're donating and whatnot to keep me going, it shuts her up. Let's just be honest. And I'm not trying to be misogynistic or whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. So if you guys could help me out, and just a couple, I don't care, 1-2 people donate $1 each, $2. I don't need to tell my wife how much I'm making. I can just tell her I got donors, right? I got support, I got sponsors, plural. So that's what I'm looking for, not one person to give me tons of money, just everyone to kind of chip in to help keep my wife off my ass and to compensate me for what I do. It takes a lot of effort, and right now I am making money doing other things, and that's kind of why I haven't been making so many videos lately, but I'm trying to get back into it. So let me know how I'm doing in the comment section below. Anyway, using lasers to create the displays of science fiction inspired by Star Wars and Star Trek. They may be tiny weapons, but BYU's holography research group has figured out how to create lightsabers, green for Yoda and red for Darth Vader, naturally, with actual luminous beams rising from them. Now, we just saw that, obviously, so that's not too, wow, I guess, but I've been thinking a lot about light recently and lasers and how, and it's kind of funny that this pops up on my, Yahoo feed or whatever you want to call it. Google could read minds, I promise you. Inspired by the displays of science fiction, the researchers have also engineered battles between equally small versions of the Starship Enterprise and a Klingon battle cruiser that incorporate photon torpedoes launching and striking the enemy vessel that you can see with the naked eye. What you're seeing in the scenes we create is real. There is nothing computer generated about them, said lead researcher Dan Smalley, a professor of electrical engineering at BYU. This is not like the movies where the lightsabers or the photon torpedoes never really existed in physical space. These are real, and if you look at them from any angle, you will see them existing in that space. Now, when I first read that, I thought, well, that's kind of nothing new, but it is something new. But it gets a little bit wilder, and this is what I wanted to bring to y'all's attention here in a minute. BYU's holography. I wonder if holography is a real word. if BYU just invented it like they invent other things that I won't talk about. Anyway, research team used lasers to create the displays of science fiction inspired by Star. Oh, we read this kind of already, but the video was produced by Julie Walker, and I'm going to show you the full video here at the end. So all credit to Julie Walker and all the, copyright dealies in place. I'm allowed to do it. So anyway. Let me continue educating my cartel members here. Let's see. So the video right here I'm going to show you, but we're going to scroll past it and continue reading the article, like I said. So it's the latest work from Smalley and his team of researchers who garnered national and international attention 3 years ago when they figured out how to draw screenless, free-floating objects in space called optical trap displays. They're created by trapping a single particle in the air with a laser beam and then moving that particle around, leaving behind laser-illuminated path that floats in midair like a 3D printer for light. The research group's new project, funded by National Science Foundation Career Grant, goes to the next level and produces simple animations in thin air. The development paves the way for an immersive experience where people can interact with holographic-like virtual objects that coexist in their immediate space. And we've kind of seen this already with Tupac and the Kardashians and Kanye, where he brought back the dad. Anyway, most 3D displays require you to look at a screen, but our technology allows us to create images floating in space, and they're physical, not some mirage, Smalley said. This technology can make it possible to create vibrant animated content that orbits around or crawls on or explodes out of everyday physical objects. To demonstrate that principle, the team has created virtual stick figures that walk in the air. They were able to demonstrate the interaction between their virtual images and humans by having a student place a finger in the middle of the volumetric display and then film the same stick finger walking along and jumping off that finger. So again, I know this is kind of like, nothing too fancy-smancy, but wait until the end here. Smalley and Rogers detail these and other recent breakthroughs in a new paper published in Nature Scientific Reports last month. The work overcomes a limiting factor to optical trap displays, wherein this technology lacks the ability to show virtual images. Smalley and Rogers show it is possible to simulate virtual images by employing a time-varying perspective projection backdrop. We can play some fancy tricks with motion parallax, and we can make the display look a lot bigger than it physically is, Rogers said. This methodology would allow us to create the illusion of a much deeper display up to, theoretically, an infinite size display. And that's the part I wanted to show you. So anyway, guys, so now we're going to watch this video here, and I want you guys to let me know what you think about it in the comments below, about Project Bluebeam, aliens, interdimensional beings, and all this stuff. And maybe you guys know a little something that I don't know about in regards to this laser thing. The infinite thing really sparks my curiosity. And if you're, a member of Dome Earth, or a member of Flat Earth, or a member of the, that, what do they call it? I can't think of it right now. But anyway, our dome, we have a sun that cruises across it. It'd be easy to make a sun. Anyway, this is all just theory. Let me know again in the comments below what you guys think, and be sure to subscribe, like, share, and do all that good stuff. And check the description down below if you guys want to find the tip jar and tip your content creator. And I got a PayPal, Cash App, Venmo down there. So it's my job to kind of keep reminding you guys. So I hope it's not too annoying. Forgive me if it is. But that's all I got for you. Enjoy the rest of this video, and I'm going to leave you with a typical, and as always, to God be the glory.
Here at BYU, in the holography group, we are working to create the displays of science fiction. Displays like the holodeck from Star Trek, or the Princess Leia projector from Star Wars. So most displays, including 3D displays, require you to look at a screen. But our technology creates images that are floating out in space, and they're physical. The way our new optical trap technology works is that we have a laser beam. It traps a little particle in the air, and then that beam moves around and it drags that particle around with it. And then if we move it fast enough, we will see the entire image all at once. Most of these images we created were done with long exposures. We rastered out an image over time. Today, we're able to actually create simple animations. Here are two toys small enough to fit in our current display volume. So they are teeny tiny. This dot is a trapped particle. So it's being held by an invisible laser beam, illuminated by a visible laser beam to form the outline of an explosion. Here we see the particle moving back and forth rapidly as it's illuminated to give the effect of a phaser blast or a disruptor charge moving back and forth between the ships. What you're seeing in this scene is real. There is nothing computer generated about it. These are real lasers moving around in space between these two ships. So unlike the movies, where the lightsabers never really existed in physical space, these are actual luminous beams rising from these lightsabers. So this is still just one particle drawing both these lightsaber beams. It's just moving fast enough that it can change location and change color. And it would happen in real time as the battle was occurring. And we've used our display to draw in the air a little stick figure. So here we have our stick man walking across the surface of a student's finger. We did want to show how this type of image could interact with a human. A volumetric display, like our display, is different than other types of 2D and some 3D displays in that it doesn't have a screen. Because our images are made from glowing particles inside a fixed volume, we can really only draw images inside that volume.
So if, for example, I wanted to display a mountain and I wanted it to look like the size of a real mountain, I would have to build a volumetric display the size of a mountain.
In our most recent research, we are trying to create images that exist outside our drawing volume. What we've done is we've taken a very small 3D printed house. What we're trying to do is to make the moon look like it exists outside the drawing volume by making that moon track the viewer. We are moving the camera, and we're also moving that moon image that we're drawing in the air in synchrony, so it gives the impression that it's behind the house, when in fact it's being drawn in front of the house.
We can play some fancy tricks with motion parallax, and we can make the display look a lot bigger than it physically is. This methodology would allow us to create the illusion of a much deeper display up to kind of theoretically an infinite size display, and that's all by changing the image as the viewer translates through the scene.
We now have the opportunity, as our images get bigger, to create experiences for the viewer that are beyond our drawing volume. We can create environments that are outside rooms or beyond windows using this technique.